Today's podcast is brought to you by StrongHeartAcademy.com, where no heart is no victory. We are also brought to you by BJJ To Go. If you want to build your game and learn jiu-jitsu, go to bjjtogo.com. Third thing we're brought to you by is Rat Bat. Got rats? Want to kill bats? Kill them with a rat bat. Fourth thing we're brought to you by is hot dog flavored water ingredients. If you want to add it to your smoothie, hot dog flavor ingredient. All right. Well, it's the first quarantine podcast. I'm in my gym by myself because we're quarantined. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to be positive. I just want to talk about the quarantine, I guess, but I'm trying to be as positive as possible. It's super easy to get negative right now. If you look on the interwebs, everyone has an opinion. You know, smart people, but they're not, people that know viruses, but they think they know everything because they had read a few things. I have my questions about all this and, what's valid, what's not, but I just want to talk about, I'm going to try to talk about the positives. The SBA loans didn't go through. That's just, but I honestly, people are like, oh, Mike, you got to, we filled it out the day of just for emergency purposes. We were okay, but emergency purposes. And then, I didn't expect it because I was like, this is the government. They can't barely do anything. And I was right. They couldn't figure it out. So if nothing else, I was right. I guess that makes me feel good about that. But I've been so happy and fortunate. So many of my students have still supported the school. We're trying to put out a bunch of content for everybody. We're putting out lessons 3 times a week. The same as we would if the gym was open. I wasn't able to stream because my upload speeds in my gym were garbage, and we tried to get it fixed, and they said, oh, it's going to take 3 weeks. And then when I tried to get it fixed again, they're like, oh, we didn't put the order in. So that's CenturyLink. But I already had all this stuff from the podcast and video camera, microphones, all the software, everything. So I said, you know what? We'll film it, pre-film it, and then I'll edit it at home and I'll upload it from home, and then we'll put it on Vimeo. And Vimeo's been great so far. It's super clean, looks good. We can still keep the sound, everything. It streams well. People have access to it really easy. And then we already have an online curriculum. And I knew that I need to redo it, and I've been putting it off. So, I've been so busy in quarantine because we've been just filming new things. I had 2 people help me out, a camera guy and a guy that has been quarantined also. So I felt comfortable. He already had 2 weeks, so where is he going to get the coronavirus from? Me? Well, I've been home too. So it doesn't come out of nowhere. So we refilmed all of the curriculum. I finished it. I was working 8-9 hours a day, but I like to work, it keeps me busy. I enjoy what I do. I would rather be teaching for sure. But it was good. It made my mind work, made me think, and it's still making me think because I have to write out the way that it's going to be for the year. So we filmed all of them. All the positions for fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. And then now this week will be to organize it. And that's going to be a challenge as well. But the editing was a lot of editing and filming it, making sure that the angles were right, making sure I was speaking clearly, people understood, people can see everything clearly, the lighting's good. And we're so much better now than we were a few years ago, and the cameras are even better. I got crazy with understanding shadow and lighting and sound and audio and all that. you can drive yourself crazy. Now I know why directors are nutty and cinematographers are nutty. um, but it's been good for me, man. It's been good practice, making me learn and expand. And so that's one of the things, like with this quarantine, I'm hoping a lot of people are learning things, going on YouTube and learning new skills, maybe picking up the guitar that sat on the wall and you never played with. That was one thing that I haven't done yet that I wish I was doing. But again, I just been so busy making videos for my students and making sure we have good stuff for people to keep busy and keep moving. Being home, it's been great for my family because I've worked so much for so many years. I had 2 jobs, 3 jobs for years and years and years and years and years. When my oldest was born, I was basically went back to work the next day, and that was that. Like, and because of jiu-jitsu, I eat home. I get home late and I eat late, and then so we don't always get. I'll eat sometimes with my wife, but they eat without me a lot. So we've been having family meals together, and I was trying to do that once a week or a couple times a week before the quarantine, but now we're doing it every night, so this has been good, having a family meal and talking and being like a real family, which is good. And you would think that we would go crazy, but I feel blessed. I like my family. I like being around them, hanging around them. And then, I was even thinking this quarantine happened a couple years ago, or even 2 years ago, where I used to live. I went on this big journey. God put me through where we lost our house because I was renting a house. I owned a house, then I rented another house. The house I owned, a tree fell on it. It was a giant nightmare fighting insurance companies. I sold that house. It wasn't worth much at the time. House prices weren't crazy like they were now. And then I just rented. And then suddenly they said, oh, you're moving out in 30 days. So I had 30 days to move out, and then we could not find a house for 9 months. I lived with my in-laws. I lived with my parents. It was a disaster. So, I can't imagine being quarantined with my in-laws and I love my in-laws, but being stuck in place or with my family, my parents. That's a lot of people in one room, and I know there's a lot of people that is their circumstances, that they have to be quarantined with people that they usually have time apart. And when you have time apart, sometimes you can appreciate the people that you're with more. I remember a jiu-jitsu guy once told me his wife was a jiu-jitsu lady, and I said, oh, how cool, you get to jiu-jitsu with your wife. He's like, it's not that cool. We do the same thing all day long, so when we come home, I have nothing to talk about. She did the same thing I did, and I never thought about that, When I go home, I can see how my wife was doing for the day, and she asked me about my day, and there's things to talk about. I never thought about that. When your wife does the same thing with you, works with you, there's less to talk about because you already experienced the same things. It's all the way you look at things, for sure. But I've enjoyed being home, with my wife. And my wife, if you believe in the love languages, her love language is time. And, I'm a busy guy. So I've been able to spend more time with her, and I'm sure she appreciates that. I think the kids appreciate it. My sons appreciate it. I usually put them to bed every night anyway, but now I'm there earlier to help with the process of getting them ready. If you have young kids, the whole giant process of getting them ready for bed, I've been able to participate in that and help out my wife more. And I think for some guys, they get to appreciate if you have a wife that stays home, what they do all day long. And it's been good. And then, kids, it's cool that they can do these Zoom classes. A few years ago, the internet wasn't able to even do these type of things. And I know some people are having trouble with downloads and upload speeds, and my school is obviously, but my house is fine. And we were lucky that we had enough laptops at my house that each son can work on there. And then my wife went to school to be a teacher for a while. So, she kind of has she's not kind has, she does have the ability to help with the kids with their schooling, when they're not understanding things. I have a 9 and a 6-year-old, and the 6-year-old, he's pretty capable, but he needs help. So, my wife, I feel fortunate that my wife can do that, but also that we have the technological ability, as in the United States to do that. That's awesome. Where years ago we wouldn't have that. Like even to get assignments, if we had to pick up assignments from the school, how does that work? How do they contact everybody? How do they, we have a text message system through Deer Valley District where we're at, and I'm sure other districts too, but even that technology wasn't around, So I guess they could email it, but nobody answers emails anymore. And then the last thing is in Arizona. I live in Arizona, and the weather has been amazing. So, if you're in lockdown, I have friends in other parts of the world that it might be pretty cold outside still. Maybe starting to warm up right now. But, I know some places it just snowed last week, so it's not easy to enjoy the back patio or your backyard or go for a hike. Right now in Arizona is like the best time of year to go outside and hike and all those type of things. So we've been going on a ton of hikes with my boys, and it's been good, In about a couple weeks, or this week, it'll be up to 100 already. So, we got to do most of this quarantine in nice weather, and I'm fortunate that we have like I was saying before, I lost my house, and now I have a new house, and it's an amazing place. I live in a cul-de-sac, so my backyard's huge, so the kids can run around in the grass because all the playgrounds are closed. So they still get their exercise. I got a trampoline in the backyard. I built them a fort this year. It's great. Like we are fortunate and we are blessed for those things, and it could always be worse. And I still have food. And again, my students have been supporting us, supporting the gym. I'm trying to give them the best things that I can, and but I'll never forget this, ever. I'll never forget the love that they showed the gym, and me, and man, I appreciate all that so much, and my family appreciates that, the help and the support. And, I know that they want a place to come back to, and that's why they support the gym. And the people that weren't able to, I understand that too. You have bills, and if you lost your job, I definitely understand that. But I know the people that still have their jobs and they can afford it, and it's already in the budget and nothing's changed. Even though they're not training, I appreciate them willing to keep the school going, and know that I'm trying to put new stuff out for you guys. I redid all the curriculum just for you guys, and I'm trying to support you guys as much as I can, and just the love that we've gotten has been great. And then my birthday was my 40th birthday, and then we were also going to do a party for my 20 years in jiu-jitsu. We're going to have it at my house, and Coach Riley here, he got everyone together, and they surprised me and did like a little birthday parade in my cul-de-sac, and we had like 21 cars, and I think it was like 30-something, 40-something people, that came out, that piled in the cars, full families, family of 6, a couple families of 6, and made signs for me. I almost bust out in tears, I'm a kind of a baby when those type of things, but it was just filled my heart so much, It sucks to have your birthday like that, but like the love, I felt it. I felt it a lot, man, as humanity. And like what's really important, is the love. So I felt it, and I appreciate all you guys out there. So, I hope you guys are doing okay. Anyone out there that needs anything, you want to talk, you guys can message me. I got my cell phone. I'll call you, I'll text you, message you, whatever, and we can talk up whatever you want to talk about. I've met a couple people already, on the down low, that really needed, I think, to get out and talk to somebody. And I think it was good for them, and it was good for me. Hopefully we'll be back in the gym, and then we'll see how that looks and what that means. We keep our gym as clean as possible, but it'll be relying on each other to keep clean and stay home if you're sick. But those are things that honestly we already encouraged before, that if you're sick, you don't come to the gym. Just like if you had ringworm, you wouldn't come to the gym. You need to take care of that, or staph, or whatever's going on. That has to be taken care of before you come back and train. So those same standards will be the same. We still have soap, hand sanitizer, all those type of things, and we'll see if maybe we even have to train with masks. I don't know. I've never done that before. I don't even know if I'll be able to breathe in a mask. I'm not particularly worried about being sick, honestly. That in jiu-jitsu, I'm a pretty healthy guy, especially for my age, and I feel like I can find, even though I have asthma, I think I'd be okay. But I don't know. God's gonna take me. The last thing I would say is, when this thing happened and everyone was hoarding toilet paper, and you're finding out that people that are most affected are obese and have health issues and don't take care of their health, that just reinforced to me how important jiu-jitsu is. Like, if they're fighting over toilet paper, imagine if you're fighting over food. Are you able to defend yourself and your family? And everyone's, oh, shoot them. You're going to shoot someone over toilet paper? I mean, maybe. But people could take the gun from you, too. So you need to learn how to defend yourself, and be in shape and take care of yourself. And generally, I think jiu-jitsu people are in shape. They take care of themselves because they want to do better at jiu-jitsu, but it all just kind of feeds itself. I'm in shape because I want to do jiu-jitsu. I do jiu-jitsu to get in shape. It's just feeds itself, and keeping eating healthy, and not doing things that are going to harm your body, like smoking and drinking and all those type of things, or at least in moderation. I see these people sometimes at the gas station. It's like, oh man, these people are the ones that, are they going to be able to make it if a different disease comes out? Is their body strong enough to fight it? And I know healthy people have gotten corona and passed away, but I just think it still seems like a small percentage, and the people that are dying or being hospitalized are unhealthy. So it just reinforced to me how important jiu-jitsu is. So hopefully people understand that when they come back, that their lifestyle is important, just for multiple reasons, even to just relieve your stress. So much stress is going to happen from this thing. People inside, cooped up, and financial problems afterwards, people's health problems afterwards. You need a positive outlet, and jiu-jitsu does that for sure, 100%. I can say that without batting an eye. So I love you all, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Peace.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather beat the ladder. Instead of getting fatter, let the footsteps resume naturally.